Hey everyone, my name is Nathan Payne. Welcome to another episode of Blu Ocean Crypto. Today we're going to cover two quick updates about Heroes of Mavia. One came out a little while ago that you guys might be familiar with, and then the other one was just recently dropped, and I'm super stoked to cover this with you guys. So just jumping right into it, the first one is the official date for the beta. So landowners are going to be able to play. We know now, confirmed June 30th this year. Yes, right? We're all super stoked for this. The team wanted to make sure that when they set this date, they meant it. So I really respect that decision that they did. And now this is really allowing us as an alliance to really start planning and coordinating, get everything organized before we hit that date. So, whether it's affecting your investment strategy, maybe you want to pick up more lands, of course, nothing we say here is financial advice, but obviously that date is going to be a big milestone in this project. So knowing that, it's huge. I'm really excited to be playing with all of you other landowners as well soon. But the second thing that just came out recently was the Mavia Docs. And this is incredible. So this is an internally ran site where it'll let you get a feel for the game that'll soon be making their way into the Mavia Island and all the assets and how they work. So some of the notable features that Sunny mentioned was names of characters, close lookup, previews of animations, color variants, descriptions, and gallery. So let's just dive right into it. And I love the look at this, but the first thing that catches my eye instantly is Mavia League tournaments coming soon. What is that? That gets me super excited. As an alliance, the largest alliance in Mavia right now, we're really excited to be very esports and competitive focused with this game. So I'm definitely interested to hear more. Won't bother going through the introduction. Most of you should know what this is. If not, go watch my Mavia introduction video. I like how they have the Discord there, kind of showing some of the online members. That's a cool little addition. And there are quite a few different categories here on the left-hand side. Now, most of them are not built out yet, so we only have access to the first few, but I want to give you guys a sense of what this is and kind of the best way that I've been able to glean some information out of it. So if we take a look at home base, we can see here we've got army and buildings. So with army, we've got infantry, aircraft, and heroes, and then buildings, turrets, factories, other buildings, and headquarters. So jumping right into infantry, you can see we've got the striker and the brute. It also talks about what building is going to be training it, and you'll be able to click through all these things to see how these units kind of interact with other buildings and stuff. But bringing up the striker, just to kind of see what this page really has, it's really cool. There's like flavor text here, a little bit more information about them. It even says summon a pack of strikers and watch them dismantle with ease. So obviously this is going to be like a troop you train a lot of, right? So even just getting these little bits of information ahead of the beta release can be advantageous. But then when we come down and take a look at the troop stats, this is awesome. It shows us damage per second, health points, the troop training time, and then also you can see with level as the progression happens, right? Going from level 5 to level 6, we only get 3 additional damage, and it seems to be scaling by 3s most of the time. But actually a jump from level 8 to level 9 is 4, so it does get a little bit better at the end. Talks about where they're trained, like I mentioned, a little bit more information. So that they don't have a preferred target, so they'll target the closest building. This is key when researching units because it's going to help us predict the pathing and the best way to use them. Now, of course, getting in the game, launching the troops, figuring them out, it's going to be way easier. But even having this insight ahead of time, I'm already starting to formulate what some team compositions might look like. So for example, if they're going to focus on the closest building, these could be good trash clearers, right? When you're trying to create your funnel for your base, maybe you want to use some of them on the edges to get some of those trash buildings that aren't really being defended properly because this is an easy to train troop. It also shows the different things like what it's like when it's idling, basic attack, when they're stunned, and when they die. And then something I really love about Mavia is how the units change and progress with their level. So as we go up here, you can see the striker's getting more decked out, better armor, all the way up to level 10 where he just looks incredibly badass. Also different color skin variations, like Inferno looks pretty sweet, same with the Candy. There's quite a few more. It's also Mavia Elite skins as well. And then I really like this table, and they've done this with all the units. So you can really see, okay, level what is the minimum, what is the maximum, all the damage, everything is listed here so you can see how things are going to be scaling. Yes, there's still some information that needs to be filled in here, but most of it is already present. talks about update history, there's a bit of a gallery, and then it gives you a summary of the section you're already in. So if I wanted to jump over to Brute, which I'm gonna do right now, I can do it from here. So Brute's a massive intimidating force on the battlefield. It shows us how he's a ton of hit points. Obviously, the troop training time is a lot higher. Then of course, when we start scaling his level, we can see max level is 8 right now. He's up to 64 damage per second and 1850 health. That's quite substantial. Talks about how they excel at taking out enemy defenses. So, you know, thinking of Clash, this could be like hogs or any any defense targeting unit. These are going to be really important in a lot of attack strategies. Then of course we can kind of see the same thing, idle basic stun death, and then it's going all the way up to level 8. I mean, just from level 1 to level 8 looks crazy. You go from like a belt to like full decked out armor. And of course, checking the skins. I really like the Inferno. Once again, all the stats. So now you guys should have a sense of kind of how the flow of information is presented in the docs. I'm spending a lot of time kind of just going through this, assessing it, taking a look at different, you know, what's it like when all these max level troops are at the max level? What's that going to look like for army composition? How many hit points? How many can I train? You know, you can see there's a housing space of 5. Well, what's the max housing space? Is that going to increase with headquarters? And that's actually something we can check. So come down here, we've got all the different buildings, but if we go over to headquarters, you know, we can kind of see, let's go up to level 10. Looks awesome. Quite a bit of health. That's good defensively. Talks about different summaries. Here's kind of the overview again. Let's get a preview of level 10. Oh, I love that little ruby. That's right there. That's a nice touch. Coming down here though, taking a look at some of these statistics. So we can see there's not everything here yet. We don't know what the max troop capacity is going to be per HQ level. We don't know what the max traps are going to be per HQ level. Storage capacity, the maximum buildings you can build. But seeing this also shows us, okay, this is something that progresses, right? As your HQ goes up, you're going to be unlocking more and more traps, more and more buildings, more and more storage capacity. So I'm really impressed with how they put this all together. You know, you can jump over to some other units, or we can take a look at other buildings right now. One thing that I did notice is that when I'm in here, I can actually click over to walls under the other buildings section. So like I said, just a little shortcut there. And I'm really excited about the walls, not only because of the Mavia Elite skin for the walls, I think look incredible, but anyone who's played Clash knows from a competitive standpoint, you must max your walls. Probably one of the most important things to do before you're progressing your HQ. And it's just kind of nice to see going all the way from the wood. You know, you can see the upgrades that are being done, and it looks like actual progression, actual upgrades happening to each of these levels. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of a brief introduction of this docs page. It's really cool to see what the team's done. I'm super stoked for this. I'm playing around in this a bit now. You know, like I said, every couple days going in, rereading the stats, kind of starting to strategize and formulate. I hope you guys are doing the same. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel already, make sure you are to stay up to date with all the great Mavia content we have coming out for you guys on a consistent basis. And of course, just wait till the beta's out. There's going to be tons more. We're going to be covering attack strategies, base building, alliance organization, events, tournaments. This is going to be a lot of fun. So thanks so much for joining us today. And until next time, cheers. Don't forget about our 1,000 subscriber giveaway where you can win $200. And if you need more information, be sure to join us on our Discord. See you there.